Yes, Zara, I'm sure you are a poster girl. In fact, I have a friend from YouTube who loves your poster. He's quite a fan. I have posters of multiple musicians here. Can we get one of you in the future? Maybe, but we've got to talk about this album first. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we are talking about Poster Girl, the third studio album released by Zara Larsson. Zara has made some tunes that I've really liked. She kind of meets I don't want to necessarily use the word stereotypical, but kind of in a way just at least basic pop-centric style genre girl. And we kind of need one of those. I don't want to downgrade her necessarily for maybe making that kind of label necessarily. However, we may have to kind of stay there because of this album. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't want to get too picky, and I don't think that what I'm going to say in this review is necessarily slander. But there are things about this album that I think that she could improve upon greatly. First, let's go with the genre style. I think a majority of this album uses good beats. And in order to demonstrate the actual positive sides that I do see about this album, let me highlight two songs here. The first one, Need Someone. It's a song that basically talks about wanting to have someone by their side, but regardless, will be happy, but maybe they're just looking for something particular. And the second track I will highlight is FFF, which stands for Falling for a Friend. Simply playful, and I like that about this song. Okay, now, everything else. Stay with me here for a moment. Who do you think is supposed to be the audience for this music? Is it for teenagers? Is it for adolescents? Is it for tweens? Is it for just a standard mainstream crowd? There's probably a combo answer in between all of those. I'm not sure. It'd be kind of hard to try and dissect that necessarily. But the thing that I find most frustrating, no matter what the percentile of each of those demographics that you kind of put in there, a lot of the songs in here get a little too mature for what I think it should be, especially for the sound style that we are getting here. Just a lot of the lyrical content kind of reminds me of girls who, for some reason, get a lot of attention on Instagram and Snapchat, kind of for all the wrong reasons, and then they kind of talk about their lives in ways that their grandmas would be like, wait, what did you say? Like the song right here, it clearly talks about wanting to get attention in ways that are just kind of non-ladylike. That's a very polite way of putting it. Or the song Ruin My Life that is just kind of stupid because of the way that it chooses to go from one part of the chorus being fairly simple and then another where it's like, oh, that's a bit more risque, I guess. The song What Happens Here, implicit already by the title. The song Wow, I can't even talk about this one. It's no. Wow in the knowest way. And then you attach Young Thug to the song Talk About Love. You're kind of distancing yourself from the idea of love when you get that grotesque. Now, like I mentioned before, I think a lot of the production actually is alright, but the worldly risqueness that we kind of have here is just way too much. It just shows how fallen pop music really can go. She saves the album slightly from me wanting to mark this down way down because of her voice and because of the beats. It's just the content of so many of the songs here that is just not worthwhile. I don't understand what kind of people want to listen to this music and just say, screw everything, let's just do whatever we want with the least amount of boundaries as possible in our lives. The mood obviously is irresponsible, but I just trying to figure out, is anyone actually getting fulfillment out of these things? That is one of the scariest things that I feel about pop music, when we have something that sounds like we can all have fun and dance to, throw a party to, and yet we can't really enjoy it all that much because some of us have standards while others choose to just live in the moment, YOLO kind of thing. It's just sad because it's disconnecting from what some of the things you need to just have in order to have a good and meaningful life. So, after having listened and reviewed this album with the following grades in the following categories here, how would I recommend this album? I am going to give it an okay. Like I said, her voice and the production have quality to them. It's just everything else is going to bring it down so low. It's not a terrible album, but it's one that I can't necessarily recommend. The only thing that I'm really going to talk about are those 2 singles, and then talk about, she still has something there, and we'll have to see if she's going to go in a particular direction the next time around, or if she's going to maybe do something that a whole world can maybe get on board with, instead of just this niche audience that enjoys having some sort of awkward rebelliousness to them. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want more Yes in your life, be sure to subscribe to this channel where you can discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment that'll make you say yes.